Hello and welcome to another Hour of Devastation booster draft. This is Old Man Poole. We've opened up a pretty good pack. We've got a couple of good picks here. I haven't gotten the chance to play with Tenacious Hunter yet, but I would like to. I think the card is pretty good. Senior Striker, I think, has been a little bit less impressive than I'd expect, but still a great card. Obelisk Spider obviously looks great, although it is devil color, and I'm not sure it's powerful enough to take as a two-color card right off the bat. Farm's good, Lethal Sting's good, Frontline Devastator's good. Hour of Glories are rare. I think it's probably the pickup over the Tenacious Hunter, which I think is maybe second in the pack. Maybe even Lethal Sting. But, yeah, I don't know, there's a bunch of interesting stuff. I think Hour of Glory is pretty good. As an exile effect, it gets rid of literally anything. Costs 4, which I think is fairly undercosted for that sort of an effect. I think we're pretty okay taking that. But this was a good pack. There's going to be some good picks to go around in it. Okay. We have a lot of good red here. Burning Fist Minotaur is powerful. Struggle to Survive is very good. Well, mostly Struggle is very good, and Survive is kind of okay. Firebrand Archer is... Well, that's interesting. Survive is shuffles his or graveyard onto his or her library. Huh. I kind of figured that was just in. Oh, it is into. Don't mind me. Okay, Burning Fist Minotaur, Struggle, Frontline Devastator, Firebrand Archer. I think something like Struggle's better than following it up with another black card. I think Marauding Bone Slasher and Ruin Slide are both fine, but not something you're like desperately hoping to play. I think we're gonna take the Struggle. Starting off with 2 removal picks right off the bat seems pretty good. Yeah, I like that. There's another one right away. Okay, I think it's Struggle's better than Open Fire. No black here really to speak of, although this pack's actually not quite as good. Catcher's Avenger is a powerful one. I like Unquenchable Thirst. I think other people are maybe starting to catch on to that card being good. The first draft I did in the format, I swear they came around like second or third to last pick. They're better than that. But yeah, happy to pick up another Struggle. Wow, a third one? I think we just keep taking them. I mean, yeah, I think you just keep taking them. Hostile Desert's a little bit of an interesting one. I'd like to be able to play with that. That's another Catcher's Avenger, another Open Fire going around. I'm a little bit worried we're sitting someone else into red as well, but 3 Struggles in a row is pretty great. I think at the very least, we're going to be pretty open coming back around in pack 3, even if my next door neighbor is picking up all the Open Fires and saying, wow, red seems open. Okay, here we have Claim to Fame, which can't quite decide how good it's going to be. It seems fine. You do need to have a lot of like cheap cards. You need to have a pretty aggressive curve for it. You take Riddle Form, maybe go into sweet like red blue. Riddle Form and even Rune Striker and Unquenchable Thirst are all a little bit late. I wonder if we'd rather have the Thirst in a Riddle Form deck. I've been a little bit impressed with this card. I'm not sure it's fantastic, but I think it's been pretty good to us. So I think I'm going to pick this up here. Maybe we'll try and draft the sick red-blue deck that eluded us all through Amonkhet. Wow, it's a late Burning Fist Minotaur. I do think black's getting more or less completely cut. We're not seeing much in it. I think that the Minotaur is just going to be the pickup here. It's a pretty good threat on its own. I think it works fine in sort of a blue-red tempo-y strategy. The Moloch actually is probably something we'd like to pick too, although I think it is a lower power level card. Blur Blades is fine, and I think red seems pretty open here, so. And definitely Struggle is a card that we'll play even if Survive is never on at all. This is perfectly fine as like a deal 4, deal 5 in the late game, and deal 3 on turn 3. Struggle's just going to kill almost anything that your opponent plays. There's another Claim to Fame, which again, I'm not sure exactly how good it is. We could just kind of go all out and learn a bunch of cards here. We could take Magmaroth, which I think is not that exciting, but if we've got a bunch of non-creature spells, this turns into a very real threat. I don't know, it's bad in a lot of cases. Like you'll play it late game and it just shrinks and shrinks and shrinks until it dies. But on the other hand, this might be the deck for it. Maybe we'd like to see. I think Firebrand Archer would be fine. Blur Blades would be fine. Let's take the Magmaroth. Let's see what this card can do. Unquenchable Thirst is great at this point. Titan's fine. This card does get better if we can pick up a couple of deserts, but Frontline Devastator is a great pickup. Countervailing Winds, I think, is actually a little bit better than it looks. Most of the time, that's just been a 3 counter target spell in my experience. Late game, it ends up being like costs 7 or 8 for them to counter it, which is a lot of the time when counter spells are at their best, or counter spells like this are at their worst. And early on, if it's just like they have to pay 1 or 2, it's usually still enough. But I like Devastator a lot. And another one. Ooh, wow. 2 deserts, though. I wonder if there's a danger in getting too high on our curve here. I think Frontline Devastator is just great, though. It's really good with... Yeah, I think it's just a strong card. Okay, we'll take Countervailing Winds over Tragic Lesson, probably. I haven't been real impressed with Tragic Lesson. It feels kind of too slow and not impactful enough. I don't think we're going to take a Granitic Titan. Right now we have a little bit of a decent top end already, and we can always get more 6/5 drops. We want another Winds or a Tragic Lesson. Guess the second Winds over the first Lesson? That might be a mistake. Okay, Crash Through. This may be a card we'd play, actually, with our random synergies. Okay, well, this is definitely a different kind of deck. I'm excited to be able to play it. It'll be interesting to see how good it ends up being. Wow, 2 rares and neither of them are super exciting. Man. I don't think Arbitrage is that good. I literally, like 10 minutes ago, replied to a comment on my YouTube channel and was like, I'll totally pick this next time I get the chance. And yeah, here we are, aren't we? It's from our graveyard too. We only have 4 creatures so far. This card just seems so bad. It requires like 7 mana to be really powerful, and for 5 it's kind of only okay. Like, it's bad if we bring like a Magmaroth. It's not the best on like Devastators. Well, I guess we're a liar. Okay, the question here is Unquenchable Thirst versus Frontline Devastator. I think I might want another Thirst. We're kind of low on early plays. The Devastator is good, but we already have a bunch of 4s. Doomfall's powerful. I take the Desert of the Mindful later on, but... Okay. Probably another Burning Fist Minotaur? Ooh, or Puncturing Blow. Although we have a lot of removal as it stands. We have 3 Struggles, a couple of Thirsts. I really hope some of these deserts wheel. They did previously. But yeah, I think Burning Fist Minotaur is pretty good. Okay. Puncturing Blow, I guess, at this point. We're just going to play almost no threats and a billion creatures. Riddle 4 and Magmaroth do kind of make that strategy not bad. If we just play a reasonably big threat and kill everything else my opponent plays. Yeah, let's take the Puncturing Blow. I think it's better than Strategic Planning, Riverwinder, Reason, although I think those cards are all okay. I think Reason is borderline playable if you're just playing it for the blue. Ooh. Inferno Jet. It's the way we kill off our opponent. Don't love Hazardous Undying Fury. I think this card's going to be pretty low impact for taking all your mana away for 2 turns. Visitor of the Fervent, Blur of Blades. We're seeing some good black this time, but I guess it makes sense because we didn't see like any black in the first pack. I think we were getting cut pretty hard on that. Let's take Inferno Jet. I'm still hoping some of these deserts wheel. I don't think it's crazy unlikely. I'm going to take a Moloch over an Archer here. Moloch's been very impressive if I've got instant speed spells or just non-creature spells in general, and we have got a lot of those in this deck, so. Another Inferno Jet. I like the second one a lot less than the first one. Having 1 is great to kill off your opponent at the end of the game. Having 2 is kind of clunkier. I think I'm going to take the Gilded Ceradon. And still, we probably need to pick up deserts pretty much as highly as we can here. Spellweaver Eternal is pretty good. Also got Prowess as a little upside. Alright, let's see some of those red and blue deserts come back around. I imagine at least a couple will make it. And I'm happy to pick them now because we have a lot of playables. Reed Stalker or Strategic Planning? I think ordinarily this would be a pretty easy Reed Stalker, but we do have Like, this is the Instants and Sorceries deck. I'm surprised that this is this close. Don't really have much graveyard synergy. I think I'm gonna take the Reed Stalker. Sorry, planning. I think you're not that great. Can't take the Devastator. We may not see any more of our lands, unfortunately. Oh, there's one. We're happy to pick up at least one here. That might be it. We'll take Reason to Believe. I don't think it's going to be a playable for us. Our deck seems pretty good. I think if you're scratching for him, I'd play Reason, but... And then the green part of this card just is not that fantastic. I mean, like, especially in a deck like this, we're not going to splash for Believe if too few creatures, and the effect is kind of marginal upside. Really happy to see Desert of the Fervent, though. Perfect. Yeah, so we only got two, but I think that makes Quenchable Thirst a little bit better, the Ceradon a little bit better. And I think I like just playing a couple random cycling lands in general, so. Got a little bit greedy with them coming back around, but got rewarded. Okay, here, not much, unfortunately. Don't love Reduced Trouble. It is kind of a powerful tempo play. It might be better now that the format's a little bit slower. I think it's likely to wheel, though, too, so if we want it, we'll get it. So I guess the question is between Fetid Pools is just another cycling land, which isn't even that great. You have these. These are basically the same thing. They're not dual lands, because this is off-color anyway. Yeah, these actually, Fed Pools is just a worse version of those. So I guess we take the Winds of Rebuke. Blech, not a great first pick. But I was kind of thinking we'd like an Unsummon in the previous pack, and Winds of Rebuke is not all that different. Okay, bit of an interesting pick here. Emberhorn Minotaur is probably the single strongest. I don't hate Naga Oracle, although it may not actually be what we're trying to do in this deck. We may be trying to just remove threats and get in for damage. So Emberhorn Minotaur seems good. We're a little bit low on 2s right now, though, so maybe we should take the Scavenger. We have a bunch of Devastators already, which I think the Emberhorn Minotaur is better than they are, but we have like a bunch of 4s, at least 4 already. We only have 3 2-drops. I think I'm gonna take another Scavenger, or the first Scavenger. It's a little bit close, but I think this card is pretty good. Ooh, Lake-Claim and Censor and Magma Spray. Goodness. I mean, it's gotta just be Magma Spray, I think. This card is pretty absurd, although both Lake-Claim and Censor would make the cut for sure. Just the efficiency on this card is great. It kills a lot of things you want to kill, and it's a spell, which is good for us. Okay, we're doing it. Got the Enigma Drake. I'm so excited. I always wanted to draft the Enigma Drake deck in Amonkhet and just could never get there, but we're doing it. Passing Electrify, which is a little bit of a shame, but I think Rubbles or Struggle is better. And Puncturing Blow, the like. Pathmaker Initiate's fine, but can't pass the Enigma Drake here. What if somebody took it on accident? Take Seer of Insight, or Seeker of Insight. That's probably pretty good in this deck. You just take the Censor, which I like a lot too, or the Hieroglyphic Illuminations. Even the Thresher Lizard wouldn't be bad. I don't like just keeping our spell count up. So maybe like Censor. Or Illumination. It's close. We already have 2 of these counter spells. These are worse than Censor, but they kind of perform the same task. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays we like on turn 2. This is close. I'm not sure this is the right pick. I think I'm gonna take the Illumination though. It's nice, it's instant speed. Doesn't have to be targeting something. Wrappings I don't love. Fling is okay, but not great. We'll take an Essence Scatter. Not all that dissimilar to Censor. Drop Skirm. Wow, it's loaded with stuff. Again, I feel like we have a decent number of high-end cards already. I kind of want to get going early. So even though I think Emberhorn Minotaur is a little bit stronger, we might just take the Neff Drop Entangler here. I guess Minotaur is really, really good because it forces my opponent to double block, and we've got like Kill Spell. It looks pretty powerful. It's also just good if we're trying to remove our opponent's spells in general. 1, 2, oh man, that's rough. I think I'm gonna take the Minotaur. That might be a mistake. Okay, well, ooh, wow. Trial of Knowledge. Pathmaker Initiate. I think Trial of Knowledge. We're gonna be a little bit light on 2-drops, but I think I'm okay with that. I think Decision Paralysis is better than Pursue Glory, although I'm gonna hope not to play either. Probably Naga Oracle, but again, hope not to play either. Scribe. I don't even think it's that great in this deck, even though it's got lots of targets. Okay, happy to see an Initiate there. And a Seeker. Okay. I mean, this is pretty good value. Okay, I'll take Swamp. Sorry, River Shrine. Okay, we have a billion playables here. I'm not completely sure what we want to cut. I don't like the Reed Stalker that much. It's just a little bit underpowered, I think. I'm probably not going to play both wins out of the gate. Maybe... Oh, I think we're probably not going to play the Crash Throughs. Well, I don't know. They do Cantrip, which means that they're pretty good with the Enigma Drake. Pretty good with the Thorn Moloch. Pretty good with Magmaroth. There's actually a lot of random synergy with Crash Through. I think it might be worth playing just as a card that says we play it and it immediately cycles. The question is, what do we cut? I think the deck is pretty good. I think we want to cut one of our 4s. I think that the Frontline Devastator is going to bite the dust. Honestly, Frontline Devastator might be better than Magmaroth. I've been really impressed by that card. Is it ever going to be correct to cut Puncturing Blow? I don't really feel like it. I think we're okay having lots of removal in this deck. Because of the Crash Throughs, because of Inferno Jet, Hieroglyphic Illumination, maybe we can, and Countervailing Winds, we can probably get away with playing 16 lands. We're a little bit light on playables. Or on, we're not light on playables. We're a little bit light on our top end. Guild Ceradons are only 5 cost. We're going to play these 2 deserts and they can cycle away and fix it too. So I think we do want to get down to 24 here in the main deck. I think we probably do have too many 2-drops. So I think maybe the Pathmaker's Initiate's going to bite the dust. I think these are all better versions of that card. And Seeker of Insight I think is going to be kind of a house if this game goes long. We could cut Essence Scatter. I think I have to try this card. Maybe it'll impress me. Maybe it'll just be... And this seems like the best possible deck for it, honestly. Maybe Trial of Knowledge isn't that much better than Hieroglyphic Illumination. It's a little bit expensive. We don't have anything that resets it. Draw 3, discard a card is not all that different from Draw 2. Draw 2 is instant speed and it cycles. Trial of Knowledge. Maybe we'll play that as a really good sideboard card if we think we need to go a little bit longer in the game. Really, it's kind of an embarrassment of riches here, though. Maybe like, no, Winds of Rebuke feels pretty good. Maybe we cut the Countervailing Winds. Maybe Essence Scatter is just going to be better a lot of the time. 2 more. We cut a cat Crash Through. We do have a lot of spells. This is just such a low cost. Kind of like cutting a creature. Maybe we'll cut another Devastator. Man, these cards are so good though. Maybe Gilded Ceradon is not that fantastic. It is nice if we have a desert. I kind of like having another threat that just removes blockers, whereas these usually just kind of trade with some upside, which maybe actually isn't as exciting for my deck. Alright, one last cut here. I guess we'll cut a Crash Through. So we have 11 creatures, 13 non-creatures. These are pretty good. They're all pretty good. We have things that are... Yeah, this is sorcery speed. I guess that hurts it a little bit. Okay, I think I'm going to keep this deck as is. We have lots of sideboard options. I may decide that something like Magmaroth is just not as good as a Devastator, but as it stands, I think that the deck came together remarkably well. I don't think we can complain really at all. I think we probably need red ever so slightly more than blue. This costs red to activate. I guess that cycles for blue. That cycles for colorless. We have one more 2-drop. Magma Spray crashed through. Maybe we just want an even split, honestly. Maybe have a little bit more red, but I kind of want to be able to play both. I think actually I'm gonna split evenly here. One green. I was like, where's my last land going? Nope, we're not using that effect. Okay, deck looks sweet. See you guys for match 1.